basic education inputs, not just the classroom itself, but other basic inputs like seats, furniture, uh, learners, materials. We have teachers' salaries as well. And the above calculations and based on the assumption that the number of students in excess of the public school capacity is constant at 7.3. So it appears that if we are going to build classrooms for 180,000 classrooms, that will be around 3.4 trillion. And a voucher program over the same period would cost like 2.6 trillion.
Excuse me,
Mr.
sir.
Chair.
I have records here coming from Deped na shortage kayo as of last year ng 165,000 classrooms lang, hindi 180,000 as versus dun sa sinasabi nyo ngayon. So kung 165 classrooms na shortage nyo since last year na sinabi po ninyo, so at 2.5 per classroom in 10 years, that would amount to 412 billion.
Mhm.
Tama?
Yes, Mr. Chair. Yes, Senator.
So kung i-add nyo po yan, magkano po yung budget, yung kaya nga. So 165 plus 412 billion. Ibabangga nyo po yan ngayon doon po sa programa ninyo sa gaspe na kung saan yung mga estudyante nilipat sa mga state colleges. So sabi nyo, gumawa na kayong feasibility study, tumutugma ba dito sa sinasabi ko ngayon?
Mr. Chair, your computation is based on a classroom cost only. But what we are saying in our analysis is a classroom must be complete, not just the physical structure, but it should include seats, the teacher, the MOOE, laptop for teachers, and other instructional materials inside the classroom. So that was taken into consideration in the analysis, Mr. Chair, not just the construction of a classroom.
Pero
That is why we arrive at that particular amount.
Yes, sir. Pero even before that, meron naman talagang budget na para sa mga teachers. Kung magdagdag ng teachers, meron naman talaga budget na yung bawat eskwelahan, meron talagang budget ng MOE, at meron naman kayong ginagawang computation na for that particular school for all their needs, right? May budget na para sa mga chalks at kung ano pa. So, is that something na pinagsama-sama nyo para at the end of the day, you came up with a figure na mas makatipid na malaki kapag yung dadaan tayo sa gaspe, at magkano po yung matitipid nyo versus kung yung suggestion na lang po ng marami na magpatayo na lang ng mga classrooms, magkano po matitipid?
We will be
On a yearly basis or
on a yearly
10 years,
basis.
yearly and then long term after
Okay,
10 years.
on a long term basis, based on our study, Mr. Chair, we will be okay. So the difference between 3.4 trillion and 2.6 trillion over that period of years, Mr. Chair.
Magkano po matitipid?
That would be 3.4 minus 2.6. That is around 14 minus 8, around 0.8 trillion, Mr. Chair.
0.8 trillion matitipid through the years.
Over the same period of a 30-year horizon, Mr. Chair. 30-year, we pegged it at 30-year horizon because that is the expected lifespan of a classroom, Mr. Chair.
Okay. Kung 2.5 classrooms, okay, compared doon sa sinasabi ninyo na ginawa niyo ng computation, ang matitipid is 0.8 trillion. Magkano yung 0.8 trillion po, Asek?
0.8 trillion, that would be around 800 million?
800 billion. So yan po yung total na matitipid.
Cumulative, Mr. Chair.
Cumulative after 10 years. Up to 30 years.
30 years horizon, Mr. Chair.
30 years horizon. Okay. Lagay po natin sa 10 years. Pag 10 years lang po.
We will have to do a recomputation on that, Mr. Chair, but we do have the table for the year 1 up to year 30, and it is contained in our report as well.
Okay, yung ginagawa niyo feasibility study, yan ho ba yung na-forward niyo sa COA para ma-review?
No, Mr. Chair, not yet. This is just a simple economics as recommended by this committee in August. So we submitted the same, and it is not yet a comprehensive study. But the assumptions that we place in our simple economics is that we included all basic education inputs for a classroom. That's why it went up to that, because it is expected that if you add a classroom, there should be a teacher as well, and it's an additional class. It's an additional class in a school. It will require increased MOE because of the number of classrooms has increased and the number of learners has increased. So we considered all the basic education inputs, not just the physical classroom, Mr. Chair.
Basically, the report, just to sum it up, no, the report says that if, in simple terms, if DepEd will build classrooms to complete all 159,000, it will need 3.7 trillion, tama? Or 124 billion per year, correct? If this is to serve 7.3 million learners, okay? If we do the same for a voucher program or ESC, no, any of those programs, to address the 7.3 million learners, DepEd will only spend 86 billion per year, correct? So that's why the conclusion here is the voucher program slash ESC is cheaper because it will spend lesser. 86 billion versus 124. So in
Yes.
simple terms,
Yes, Mr. Chair. And that
making it
is
simple.
based on the assumption that the amount of the vouchers and the ESC grants will remain the same.
Okay, so we're addressing number one, the growth of students, and then number two, obviously, the congestion. Correct?
Yes,
Because
Mr. Chair.
how can you address the growth if you don't address congestion? Congestion is a present problem. The growth is a
Yes.
future problem. So we need to address congestion first as a priority and address the growth of the number of students. Tama ba, Asek?
Right, Mr. Chair.
Okay.
Yes, doon po sa statement kanina ni Asik Bringas, babalikan ko lang. Sabi niyo po, based on your computation, 3 trillion, 3, 3
3.4, Mr. Chair.
okay, sige. Thank you, dinagdagan niyo po. 3.4 trillion. Okay. Medyo may hinata ako sa mata, no? Kaya, pati mga kasama ko at computation. 3.4 for 180,000 classrooms. Tama. Okay. Now, kung i-divide natin to, yung 3 trillion for 180,000 classrooms, it would cost to build around one classroom around 16 million. One classroom alone is 16 million. Kasama na dyan yung mga teachers.
Mr.
Sabi
Chair,
dito,
that
no?
the cumulative amount of 3.4 that I mentioned covers not only the physical structure of the classroom, but it includes all other basic education inputs, Mr. Chair. Meaning
That is correct.
furniture. Yeah.
So per classroom, 16 million.
Yes, Mr. Chair. Not per classroom,
Isn't this
but
too high?
all basic education inputs, Mr. Chair,
Basic education inputs for one
for one class.
for one class.
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Magkano ba ngayon ang ginagastos sa bawat class?
That would be a number that would
How
be
much?
defined by the per capita. I don't have the exact per capita for the public school
Okay.
learners,
So,
Mr. Chair.
How much sa inyo pong ginagawang pag-iimbestiga sa mga records na meron kayo available, how much ang gastos dapat ng bawat eskwelahan sa isang classroom? Yung sinasabi nga ni Attorney Bringas.
Senator Tulfo, I would
Per
like to
class.
ask our resident auditors who handles the audit, the financial and compliance audit of DepEd.
Okay. Asik Bringas, while papaupuin natin yung taga-COA. So sabi niyo po, per class at classroom, okay, ang budget dyan is aabot ng magkano po a year? Meron ako kayong record yan. Ito na pala yung si COA. COA, sa inyo pong auditing, sa inyo pong assessment, average po sa lahat na eskwelahan, regardless kung saan eskwelahan to, whether province o NCR, magkano po dapat ang gastos to maintain one classroom in one class?
Good morning, Your Honors. I am Imelda Celso, the resident auditor of Deped. Unfortunately po, wala po kaming data regarding the expenses per classroom as of now.
Per class.
Yes,
Wag na yung classroom. Alisin natin yung classroom. Per
Per class.
class.
we have no data, sir, on that.
Can you have data on that?
Ah,
Kasi sa computation po ni si Bringas, kung alisin natin yung kasi 16 million sa sinabi niyan 3 trillion, 3.4. Baka more than pa. Alisin natin yung butal, 3 trillion na lang or 180,000 classrooms. It would cost 16 million for each classroom. Okay, kung 3.4, so 18 trillion, 18 million per classroom. Now, sa 18 million per classroom na may bibuild sana nito every year, alisin natin yung 2.5 million na sabi din po ni ASEC, which would cost the amount of the structure. So kung alisin natin yung 2.5, so that will be 15.5 million. Tama? So does it cost 15.5 million a year to maintain one class in a classroom? Tanggal na po yung yung construction, yung structure. So ang tanong ko ngayon, does it cost 15.5 million pesos a year to maintain one particular classroom or a particular class?
Mr. Chair, if I may be allowed, based on from the finance, the per capita cost for 2024 would be in the amount of 25,921. And that amount, the 25,921 amount would be broken down into personnel services, that is for the teacher, learning resources, the school building and facilities, the school MOE, and the computerization program. So that would amount to 25,921 per capita per learner, Mr. Chair.
Yes, sir. Opo, naintindihan ko po kayo. Ang sa akin po, para mapabilis, para mas madali pong maintindihan, and kanina po yung COA tumatango, ibig sabihin, medyo nag-agree sa atin dito. Gusto ko po yung numbers na how much would it cost to maintain one particular class over a year or one particular classroom. I-times nyo na po, nagbibigay ka ng figure kanina.
Yes,
So,
yes,
mga
Mr.
i-times
Chair,
nyo na po.
to simplify the computation, that would be if we average the class sizes for all the grade levels, that would be around 40 learners per class. So we will multiply 25,921 times 40 per class.
Magkano po yun? Ba't tumatawa po yung COA? Hindi, it's okay. COA, pwede kayo mag-butt in if you want. With the permission, of course, of Mr. Chair.
Go ahead,
Kasi if you want to say, kasi kanina COA gusto mag-butt in eh. COA, you can butt in anytime.
Cumulative.
Actually, sir, we still have to have the study of Deped on that.
Wala pa kayo natatanggap na study pertaining to that.
Not yet
But
po.
would it
But-
be nice kung meron kayong matanggap na study?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And we would like to emphasize that we can only do that because after we receive the vouchers, all the expenditures, because we are on post-audit, sir.
But
But we can request their data on
you
that.
can require them to submit those
Yes, sir. And
data.
validate also upon a receipt of the expenditures.
Sa ngayon, wala pa kayo natatanggap na.
None yet po.
Okay, once you receive that data, so gagawa kayo ng yung comparison
Yes, sir.
at computation and all.
It will be,
Mr.
Yeah.
Chair, Ms. Ferrero would like to, be recognized.
Go ahead, Asek.
Yes, let me correct, Mr. Chair. I think our values are in thousands. So that would be 25,921,000, Mr. Chair. Naka-thousand. In the study that we conducted, we actually have a cumulative amount for 2024, for example, at 69,171. Mr. Chair. 25, is that 25 million?
Kaya nga yan sinasabi as bringas ng Commission on Audit, si Ma'am Imelda Celso, yan yung ganong klase mga data sinasubmit nyo sa COA. It will be nice kung yan ay kasama sa inyong submission. Tama ba, COA? Yung mga ganong klaseng records and documents and information.
Yes, sir. If we are to conduct the compliance audit or whatever audit we're going to conduct, we're going to need that data.
Okay.
In order for us to ascertain if, especially if the performance audit office again will be conducting an audit on that.
Okay.
Kasi it's their area po
Okay.
to conduct an
So,
audit on the.
nanagigit niya, Attorney, as Bingas, I'm not saying na may anomaly dito. What I'm saying is, for the purpose of transparency, those data that you are mentioning to us right now, right here, must be also submitted to COA for them to see na kung talagang tama ba yung ginagawa nyo o baka medyo merong off doon o merong sobra, etc. So, it is for them to say that because yun ang expertise nila.
Yes.
do that, ASAP?
Yes, Mr. Chair, but let me just clarify this, that these are just projections and part of an economic analysis of whether it is cheaper to invest in classrooms or cheaper or to invest in expanded voucher system.
COA, acceptable ba sa inyong projection?
Projection lang po yun. We are going to request, annually we are requesting the accomplishment report and then evaluate po the accomplishment report kung tamang ay kung they really serve the purpose for the project. Ganun po yung gagawin naming audit.
So, you
Sa accomplishment report na po namin
Okay.
i-base yung.
so which you're not receiving it as of
As of now, wala po kaming data on the study of the Deped, but we are requesting every year their accomplishment report on every program of the Deped.
So
And
ASEC
then
bring us,
eventually evaluate po the rate of compliance, the utilization rate, and other things po.
so Attorney ASEC bring us and Miss Imelda, siguro mag-usap kayong dalawa kung ano yung mga kailangan yung isubmit sa COA and comply dun sa request ng COA.
Yes, Senator.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.